The room went quiet when she stepped onto the firing line. It's not because she demanded attention, but because everyone there had already decided she didn't belong. A young black woman, soft-spoken, dressed in a plain hoodie, clutching her small duffel bag, didn't. T fit the picture of what the regulars at the gun range thought a sharpshooter looked like. Someone in the back muttered, "She probably never held one before." Another laughed, loud enough for her to hear. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Ava Carter, a 28-year-old EMT who had come to the range that Saturday morning to clear her head after another long night on call. She wasn't there to prove anything. She just wanted silence, the kind that comes between heartbeats when you focus, breathe, and aim. But the silence she got wasn't peaceful. It was heavy, judgmental, filled with whispers and sideways glances. "Need help loading that, sweetheart?" one man asked, smirking. His friends chuckled from the next lane. Ava said nothing. She unzipped her duffel and pulled out a sleek, matte black Sig Sauer. Her hands were steady. Her movements were precise. The men's laughter softened, but didn't stop. On the far bench sat Tom Harlan, a retired Marine Corps sergeant who'd seen 3 tours overseas. His gray beard couldn't hide the sharpness of his eyes. He'd watched the exchange quietly from his seat, sipping stale coffee from a paper cup. He'd seen arrogance before, but this felt different. Ava stepped up to her lane. The range instructor, clearly distracted by the group of regulars, barely glanced at her. "Target's at 15 yards, he said. "We'll get better with practice." Ava nodded politely. She didn't need practice. She needed space. The line of shooters fired one by one, the air filling with the thunder of gunfire and the metallic scent of spent shells. Then it was her turn. She lifted her weapon, her breathing slow and measured, her eyes locked on the target. One shot, then another, then 3 more in rhythmic precision. When the line went quiet, her paper target slid back on the wire. The men's smirks faded as they leaned forward. Every bullet hole was touching the bullseye. A perfect cluster. No one said a word. Ava reloaded, stepped back up, and fired again. Faster this time, sharper. When the target returned, there wasn't even a distinct ring of holes. It's just one clean tear through the center. The whispers stopped. The only sound was the soft creak of her boots on the floor and the steady hum of the overhead lights. From the bench, Tom Harlan stood slowly. His coffee cup slipped from his hand, hitting the floor with a dull thud. Then he began to clap. One sharp, echoing clap, then another and another. The sound cut through the room, commanding attention. Every head turned. The old Marine's voice broke the silence. "Now that," he said, pointing toward Ava's target, "is how a professional shoots." The men shifted uncomfortably. One of them forced a laugh. "She got lucky," he muttered. Tom's eyes narrowed. "Son, luck doesn't group like that." "That's training," he turned to Ava. "Army, Air Force." Ava gave a small smile. "No, sir. My father was a Marine. Trained me when I was 13. For a brief moment, the older man froze. "Your father's name?" "James Carter." Tom exhaled, stunned. "Jimmy Carter?" "The best marksman in my unit." The room went still. The same men who had mocked her were now realizing exactly who she was, the daughter of a legend. Tom stepped forward, voice soft but reverent. "He saved my life in Fallujah. I'd recognize that aim anywhere." Ava lowered her weapon. "He talked about you," she said quietly. "Said you were the one who taught him patience." Tom laughed, a deep, genuine sound that filled the room. "Like he taught you well." The men who had mocked her earlier finally stepped forward, their arrogance crumbling. One of them mumbled an apology. Another offered to help clean up the lane she'd used. Ava accepted their words with quiet grace. She didn't need their approval, but she appreciated their humility. Tom motioned toward the counter. "Range officer," he barked. "Print that target and frame it. It belongs up there." He pointed to the wall lined with the range's best scores. The instructor hesitated. "We only hang records from official competitions, sir." Tom's voice hardened. "Then start a new wall. Call it respect earned." The applause that followed was on. Just for her shooting. It was for the dignity she held when others tried to strip it away. Ava packed her bag as the sun poured through the high windows, dust swirling in the golden light. She could feel eyes on her, but they weren't judging anymore. They were admiring. Tom placed a hand on her shoulder. Your father would be proud, kid.
No.
You reminded this room what strength really looks like. She nodded, her voice soft but steady.
Oh. It's not about proving them wrong.
It's about remembering who you are. That evening, as the last echoes of gunfire faded, Ava's target hung on the wall, a perfect center shot surrounded by quiet awe. Because sometimes silence isn't weakness. Sometimes silence is power waiting to speak. When it does, the world listens. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. The same room that once mocked her now honored her. The same eyes that dismissed her now saw her. And in that small, smoky range, justice found its mark, dead center. If this story moved you, share it with someone who knows what it means to rise in silence. Comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more powerful real-life stories that remind us true strength never shouts. It simply shows up. It hits the target.